Hi, it's Peg and Dezon.
Scandal.
Jake is back. I know all the Olitz fans are loving that. Before we dive in, I just want to remind you guys, subscribe to our channel and rate our video.
Absolutely. And make sure to check out the other videos on our channel. Was it just me, or was Jake hot at the door with all that blood on it?
I tell you what, I love Olivia and Fitz, but I also love me some Jake. I've always had a crush on Noel from Felicity, and Jake looked amazing. A little bit beat up, but
he had that sexy tattered, like he's been through some things.
And I felt like even that moment there was a little bit of chemistry between them.
Yes.
I think Fitz is going to trip out once he sees Jake lying all up on Olivia's couch recovering from his ordeal, and you know that's what's going to happen.
Right. I was actually surprised that Fitz was going so hard to make Jake happen for her because of how aggressive she was.
She made no bones. She was like, listen, if you love me, you will do this for me. And you know, what is he going to do? He can't be with her right now.
Right.
So this is, you know, he has to prove his love in some way. So even against his better judgment and his own wishes, he did what he could to get Jake out.
But who was the catalyst to actually spring Jake? Was it Olivia threatening Fitz, if you love me? Or was it Olivia agreeing to dinners with Dad? Because there were two lines of communication going on to get Jake out.
I think that Olivia saying that's her father greased the wheels, and then that is what allowed Cyrus to cut a deal to get Jake out.
Got it. Well, I'm just happy he's back. I can't wait. I want that relationship to evolve a little bit. I've always said that I like how Fitz gets jealous of Olivia when she's got other things going on.
Yes.
I like her to be busy with other men occasionally.
We saw them sort of fantasizing about their alternate life and Vermont.
I make jam.
I was like,
really?
First of all, 4 kids. That's a lot of kids.
I was thinking that doesn't actually sound all that great.
No.
That sounds like a lot of people and a lot of jam.
Right.
So,
but I loved it when Olivia gave him the smackdown. She was like, there is a reason that we are not living in Vermont. It's so that you can be president. So don't tell me there's something you can't do. Get it done. I loved it.
I would like for us to address the real reason why Olivia and Fitz are not together. Mellie is boss. I mean, this episode, somebody actually said she could have had a political career of her own. Yes.
She's that educated and that intelligent.
But they were talking about it past tense.
Right.
Like, Millie's day is done. Right. Would she be the first woman to ever make up something in her mind? You know how people do when women have something going on, they immediately run to crazy. And so they're talking about her on national television like she has lost her mind. Right. And Mellie has always been protective of one thing, and that is the public's perception of she and Fitz.
Well, I think that she knows that she gave up a lot of possibility in her life for this First Lady role.
Right.
And so it means the world to her.
Right.
And she, even as disdainful as she is of the position, because I don't actually think it turned out to be what she wanted it to be.
Right.
It's what she has. And she will protect it to the death. And she even got Janine to be ready to say, I did have an affair with the president.
Well, Mellie has made no bones about the fact that she wants a political career post-Fitz. I mean, she said that in previous...
She wants the Hillary Clinton in.
Yes, absolutely. She said that in previous seasons. Even, remember when the initial buzz about the affair began last season? She would say, you know, you can't understand how easy it's going to be for me to take myself, my degrees, my First Lady experience, my wounded woman status, and hit the beat and win an election.
Okay.
So Millie's wanted this for a long time, and I think the fact that people are talking about it like it's not a possibility for her just threw her into a tailspin, and then she got in the car John Gotti style and grabbed Janine. It's like, come downstairs.
She made her an offer she couldn't refuse. $2 million tax-free in the Grand Cayman Islands.
The tax-free is critical, because when I first heard about $2 million, I was thinking taxes.
You were really like 1.2 after taxes?
And then here I go, I'm like, well, how many years you got left to live? How much interest can you collect? What? I was really doing a lot of math, because I felt like $2 million wasn't that serious.
But you know what? I'll take it. I will take it. So Janine,
I don't know.
I will take it. So Janine thought the same thing. I'll take it. Even though she was sitting around reminiscing about what she should be doing right now, which is going to the Hill, and she loves her job, and this is crap, she still took Mellie's offer. However, once again, the president outmaneuvers Mellie in their little personal war against each other.
So wait, Janine doesn't get her $2 million now?
No, she doesn't. But Abby, it's basically said, don't worry, we'll get you a book deal, you'll get your money, and you'll be able to retire on it.
Wait a minute, how come she can't get her $2 million? Because because Fitz beat her to the punch, she can't get her $2 million?
Exactly. She didn't admit to anything. I mean, maybe
but she needs to at least corroborate the story. She could at this point come out and say that really did not happen. Yeah, the president is lying.
Well, but it doesn't matter, because no one's going to believe some crazy girl that's been saying she wasn't with the president. Now the president called her out and said she was. No one's going to believe her now. So, you know, what is Mellie paying her for? Nothing. No, you don't get the $2 million.
That's terrible.
I mean,
That's terrible.
She can take it up with Judge Judy, but
Judge Judy can only get you $5,000.
I know, that's what I'm saying.
Wow, that's unfortunate. So that's why our redhead blonde bombshell Abby, I can't think of her name, is talking about book deals and such.
Right.
Oh, got it. Okay.
She's basically saying, don't worry that you lost out on the $2 million. We'll get you money.
Is it just me, or does Abby look a little different this season? Like somebody decided to put some makeup on her, some curls in her hair.
I think Abby was like, listen, I'm sick and tired of Kerry Washington showing up on magazine covers and on Good Morning America, and everybody talking about how she's the most beautiful girl in the world. Can somebody please put some makeup on this face, do something with this hair, this limp hair? Thank you.
Exactly.
I am also on a network television show. Thank you.
Right, I have lines too. Right. That's so funny.
So let's talk about Olivia's relationship with her father. Now, everybody knows relationships between fathers and daughters are some of the most complicated in the world.
You think so?
I think so. I absolutely. And Olivia and her father have one of the most complicated relationships we've ever seen.
Right.
He's been trying to bribe her to spend time with him since back in the day.
Well, mostly because he did a huge move so that they cannot spend time together. Her mother dies and he sends her away.
Right.
So during a period of grieving, when you need to be close to family, he alienated himself from the remaining immediate family he had left. Right. And clearly she didn't get over that, as we saw in the flashbacks.
And you have to imagine living the kind of life that her father lives, being head of RA46 or whatever that organization is called, being generally a bad guy that throws people into holes. He's longing for some sort of human connection.
Right.
And he has a daughter that he can try to connect with.
Right.
And so he's bribing her by paying her law school bills, but the whole time she didn't know what his real job was.
Okay, I will say that I was under the impression that the Smithsonian conversation was a farce that both of them were aware of. I didn't think that Olivia knew exactly what he did for a living, like down to the nitty-gritty diabolical details, but I did think that she at least knew he worked in national security of some kind, and that this is just, some story that they have between the two of them.
Now, I watch way too many CIA thriller movies to know that the last person to know is the family. The last people to know what the husband is up to is the family. The family lives in suburbia, white picket fence land, and thinks that he's like some boring museum curator.
Yeah, but that is very much a TV story, because I just remember growing up on military bases, we actually did know if certain people worked in different government organizations. Now, for those people who you did not know what they did, you don't know what rank they are, what details, those are people you kind of say, all right, seems like something's happening.
But it's much more exciting for television that the family's clueless. So Olivia's clueless, but she comes to find out.
Yes.
And I thought one of the most interesting scenes they've done on the show was that confrontation between Olivia and Huck.
That surprised me. I didn't think he would touch her like that.
I mean, Huck went for the jugular, literally.
Yes.
And he could kill her, and she knows it.
Yes.
And
especially considering how he just likes to pop out of places. Huck is not to be messed with. You don't ever see him coming. Shadows, garages. He's scary for that reason alone. Even if he's not going to do anything to you, the fact that you never know where the man is.
Right. And Olivia looked terrified in that moment.
She should have been. I was scared for her.
But all he wanted to know was, is her father who he thinks her father is?
Right.
And it's got to be, I mean, clearly the trust between those two is damaged right now. I mean, Huck has always been 100% in Olivia's corner. And we saw why in the flashbacks.
Right.
You know, she really took care of him. She didn't really have to.
Right.
But I think we're going to see the repercussions of this revelation throughout the rest of the season.
Keep in mind, Huck is one of the only people in her cipher who knew about her relationship with the president before everybody else did. Even before the rest of the gladiators knew, Huck has always known more about Olivia than everybody else has known about Olivia.
Yeah.
So the whole idea that she would lie to him about getting a deal, about B613, just, I think, was one problem. And then the fact that her father is command tipped him over the edge.
Yeah. Oh, it's B613. So, well, I think I called it BU486, which might be like a birth control pill or something like that.
I can't. The thing is about Olivia's dad talking about what he does, he got a little scary at the table.
Yes.
He was like, you don't know what I do. Right. You don't want to know what I do. You don't know that part of me, and you don't want to know that part of me.
Well, I liked when he said, let me tell you how you talk to me.
Yes.
And you sit down, you get a menu, you order a meal, and he went full B613 on her.
I remember him from a different world.
Oh, really?
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Byron and Whitley.
Oh,
yes, Byron and Whitley. So and I was looking at him and I said, my Byron, how far we've come. Threatening children at the table.
But Carrie's having none of it.
No.
She got up. I liked it when she brought Davis. Remember Senator Davis? I never thought I'd see Davis pop back up.
The young Bill Cosby.
And she was like, this is my fiance, the senator, who's about to be on the Armed Forces Committee, who can find out all kinds of things. And what does his father do? Forces her to break up with him if she wants Huck back.
But not to mention the fact that he hurts him. Right.
And so, now we know what happened in that relationship. This is all pre-Fitz, which I also thought was interesting. Right. It's like, I never thought about Olivia's life pre-Fitz. Because it seems like he takes up so much space in her life.
Right.
And in her mental energies. And so to see a pre-Fitz Olivia who, is actually in love with some other guy, it's kind of cool.
It is. It is interesting, and I felt very badly that things ended like that for him because he was clearly very much in love with her and wanted to make an honest woman out of her. I hate that phrase, by the way. Hate it.
All right, so next week we all know what's going to happen. Jake on the couch.
Yes. No. Jake in the bed.
I think they're going to wait a little bit for in the bed.
Let's get Jake in the bed.
We gotta work back up to the bed. We're gonna see Fitz and Mellie deal with the fallout of his revelations.
Yes.
I loved it when Fitz told Sally, "Public will forgive me. It's all good." And I'm like, these presidents are bold nowadays.
Sally is so distraught. She thought this was gonna be her catalyst to be the new moral authority.
Yes, but Fitz again heads her off with the past. Fitz he's all over the place.
And he's right. The public will forgive him.
Yes. Because we've seen it all before now. We're like, all right, whatever.
People have affairs. And who cares? Run the country.
Exactly. All right, everyone. Remember, subscribe to our channel.
Absolutely.
And tell us what you think in the comments. Team Jake or Team Fitz?
Well, you all know where I am. I want Jake in the bed. So I am Team Jake + ++.
I'm a slash. I'm slash Team Jake.
Nope.
Team
There's
Fitz.
no such thing. You are either on one side of the fence or you're nowhere. So you need to pick a side and let us know in the comments yourself. All right. I'll talk to you guys later.
Bye.
Bye.